Hello, welcome back. So we're gonna continue with, this is the study that I sent you, the Red Barn, and I believe we also got a picture of the one that I finished. And I was gonna show you how I went about doing that. Now, the first section, the first part of this got deleted. So I can show you what that's the part when I put some masking frisket in here. So I'll show you how to take that off. You just use your finger and roll it. Now the fence, I didn't do that way, but I'll show you how I went about doing it. So this was with the frisket. I'll just tell you what you didn't see, and I think what I might do later on other videos is I'll just do like a red barn, just different sections of it. Okay, now we're going to add a little bit of shading to that so that there is no so it's not so white. Okay, also I did use some of the frisket over in this area, which is where the shadow, cast shadow from that tree is. I don't want a solid. I'd like to see different tonalities of color, but I do want to add a little more so that when I take that off, we'll have some darker texture under the, what those are, I believe, is like leaves that just fell. Old leaves that are kind of almost, they look, I thought they were flowers. They're so colorful. They're like orangey. So, but it looks more like, the closer I look at them, they are just orange leaves, basically. Okay, and there's some over here in this area. So when you do something like that, where you do your masking, make sure that you have enough dark color around it so that that light color will show better when you have the enough darkness behind it. Now in here, I like to give it some texture. I don't want this to be solid color like a painted wall. And for that to get a little bit of texture, I like to paint with my brush slightly slanted, so you're painting with the belly of the brush. That is very helpful. All right, so now I'm going to dampen this area here slightly. Yeah, sometimes things get deleted and you don't mean to delete them. And you just have to think, oh well, there's a silver lining. You get to have more practice. Now I want to tie that together. Back here is where it starts. All of this is the same, except this part is a different color and value because of the it's a shadow from the tree. It's a continuation of the shadow, but when it hits the gravel, then it's a different value. And then back here, it's the grass, the lawn again. And then you continue with the darker green. I think I may put a little darker color, like I was saying, right here, because that's where I'm going to be unmasking that frisket. Okay, so we have that. That looks a little much, but you know what? It's probably going to be perfect because it's going to tone down like watercolor does all the time. You think? Okay, so now what I wanted to show you was that the way I do, one way of doing that fence. So I come in here with, I want to hold it up, but I don't want to get out of range. So let me see if I can still, if you can still see this. Here we go. All right, I think that's good. All right, so then you come in here, and I'm using the chiseled brush. And you go like that. Let's see if you can still see it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. All right, so take the excess off. I'm going to give it a little, because that is the grass that's behind. Now, there's a post, a couple posts in here, so you're going to go, let's see if this works, up and down like this. We're going to wait for that to dry a little bit, and then it'll show up. Now, there is some little bushes, or some part of that tree leaves coming down and branches. At this point, I'm just using the tip of this brush. And if it gets too dark, I come in and add a little bit of that red. So you're actually just seeing parts of that fence. You don't have to do the whole, you have to show everything, because the brain does the rest. You just know that that's a fence, just part of like that one over here. Continues. It's like an intermittent. And so I think that it's a little too, it's like a medium. I really need the darker color right next to the barn. And maybe right here in the middle. See, you don't want to go across with a very dark on every one of them. It would be too fake, too fakey. We don't want that. We don't want fake. All right, so there. That's how I did this one over here. Now, I am going to come back. It's too white. I'm just going to add a little bit of color just to soften it. Soften it. Now, the way I block that in first, I didn't use the liquid Frisket. I just used a strip of that washi tape, like this kind of tape, and it was just the right width. It comes in different widths, so that works really well. All right, so now let me put this back in here and see if you can see it. Yep. All right, so this is the part I think needs some work right now. So you're going to start squinting your eyes. Back to squinting your eyes and seeing, oh yeah, there's a few trees there, and some of them are behind others. So to separate that, you're going to get the dark here, and we're just going to use the tip of that brush because we want little foliage, little leaves, like a layering. Also, you want to keep in mind that these trees are way back there, so you want to accentuate the different plane. This is where the horizon is. And so let's separate that. And see, all the closer behind this barn is going to be the darker color. And this area here is going to be darker because that's the shaded branch on this side. And it's kind of a short, I think they kind of cut it. It was just trimmed and they overdid it. Or something like that. And we want our darks. Now here there's like a pile of hay or something, which is, it's a good thing for us because I think it helps to break up that space. Okay, that looks like straw, or maybe it's wheat or something. I don't know, but some dry something there. So I'm going to let that soak in a little bit, and then we're going to come back and lift some of those dry branches that is what it looks like to me, that might be. But I don't have to, you don't have to explain everything, but you do have to establish where your lights and your darks and your mediums are. So whatever that is, I don't have to know. I just have to know that it's going to be very dark right here and that there's the shadow of this tree on this side. And I think that that's going to be it for today. I will come back and do another one because we need to separate these trees right here. Okay, thank you very much.